Welcome, everybody. College football week 7 is in the books, and college football week 8 is here. I'm Joe with the Game House, and today we're going over college football week 8 picks. All right, as mentioned, we're going to go over some college football week 8 picks. These are going to be money line or straight picks. We'll talk about some gambling implications along the way, too. But just wanted to let everyone know we're not going to be going over every pick here. If you want to see all my picks, you can go to thegamehouse.com. We're having a pretty good season. Number one in college football spread picks for Tally Site, although this week has not started off the greatest with the Tuesday and Wednesday night games as we're recording this on Thursday. Let's get things started here. Let's go with Rutgers over Indiana really quickly. I really do think Rutgers is better than people maybe give them credit for. In Indiana, I think, coach on the hot seat this year. They played Michigan tough for about a quarter, and then things went awry. So pick Rutgers in this one, I think. I don't know about the spread, but I would say take Rutgers. Penn State and Ohio State, one of the bigger games of the college football season. I'm going to Ohio State because this one's at home. Now, the offense hasn't been running as functionally as you would like to see this point in the season. They've been tested. They won on the road at Notre Dame, and that's more than Penn State can say so far this year. They beat West Virginia. We're waiting to see Drew Allar complete more passes down the field and maybe stretch some defenses out, but they are well balanced on offense. They have a good defense. I think I may sway Penn State if this game was in College Station. In State College. Wow, I get this confused all the time. That shouldn't be confused. But if it was at Penn State, I think I would probably take them. But with Ohio State having the home field advantage, I'm going to take Ohio State. Really a big game for these Big Ten East implications and everything like that. We also skipped over Air Force and Navy. Want to make a pick on that one too. Air Force, I'm taking them. I'm really happy for Air Force this year because I do think they can get a New Year's Six spot as a Group of 5 representative. They played very, very well, very good rushing attack. They should be able to beat Navy and continue this streak now that they're ranked 22. We have Dylan Gabriel revenge game, Oklahoma over UCF. That one's pretty easy, although, I think Oklahoma, I think, Big 12 isn't the toughest, but I think they should probably watch out maybe on upset alert later on in the season. We're going to go Baylor over Cincinnati. That one's a kind of a close line, so we'll take that one. Cincinnati just really, the offense hasn't been functioning that well. Emory Jones has been struggling. And I think Baylor still, Dave Aranda still has a lot of players from a couple of years ago. I think they can get things back on track. It hasn't been the smoothest of the last couple of seasons, but I think they have enough talent to beat Cincinnati, who has plenty of new faces from, the last couple of years with Luke Fickell, and just maybe not quite the same team that they've had. We're going to go Oklahoma State over West Virginia. Oklahoma State, after a rough start to the season, they lost to South Alabama and everything, really started to rebound here. Excited to watch Ollie Gordon, their running back. He's been pretty good. And Alan Bowman, their quarterback, who transferred from Texas Tech to Michigan over to Oklahoma State again. I think they've been able to get the win on the road in this one, although I think these teams are pretty evenly matched as we're talking about, Oklahoma State rebounding from the start of their season, West Virginia having a better season than I think a lot of people would have imagined. Oregon over Washington State. Maybe this game has some more juice to it if Washington State doesn't lose last week, especially if Oregon doesn't lose the last week. But Oregon proved they were a good team going on the road and playing Washington right to the end of the game. We got to see Bo Nix play pretty well. Troy Franklin played pretty well. Some, issues with how Dan Lanning maybe called the game. I don't mind him going for it on, fourth downs. I kind of criticize maybe the play calls of sprinting out, especially on the last one that maybe cost him on the 4th and 3, I believe, rolling out to the left, and it looked like Bo Nix wanted to throw back across the middle. I don't really like that, but I do like going for it and being aggressive, and I think that aggressiveness is going to keep Oregon competitive. It's going to be something that they're known for down the stretch. Tennessee at Alabama, different type of game this year. Tennessee's more of a defensive team, more of a running the ball team. Alabama as well, they're running the ball a lot more. They don't have Bryce Young anymore, so it's a little bit different. I'm going to go Alabama. I think they're going to be able to run a little bit better, especially with the quarterback position with Jalen Milroe. I think that comes into play big time in this one. They're at home as well, so I'm going to take Alabama to win that one. I'm going to go Missouri over South Carolina. South Carolina has some offensive line issues. They played teams tough like Georgia, but Missouri looks pretty good this year. Luther Burton's a wide receiver to watch out for. They also have Theo Weiss, the former 5-star from Oklahoma, who transferred in, and Brady Cook at quarterback. It could be a good game for him as well. I think Missouri's able to defend their home turf and win. We have Minnesota at Iowa. We're going to go Iowa in this one. Now, they have a backup quarterback. They don't complete many passes. They lost another tight end this week, Eric All, to injury. That defense is really good. I don't think Minnesota can get by them. They don't have the passing attack to get by Iowa's defense. We're going to go Iowa to win this one at home. I'm going to show some more games here as we move along the schedule. Let's go. Let's go Texas over Houston really quickly. There's a lot of buzz around this game from Houston fans saying like if you win this game, that's all that matters. You can go 1-11. All you have to do is win this game. But I think Texas will be ready for this one. A big MAC game. I'm going Toledo over Miami, Ohio. Two of the three best teams in the MAC or so. And Toledo, I think, is a very good team. DeQuan Finn's a very good quarterback. It is on the road. I think Toledo is going to win this MAC. I think they're a pretty good team, and a team in a bowl game could, if they do get matched up with a bigger conference team, depending on the bowl tie-ins and everything, I think they could maybe shock some people. We have TCU and Kansas State, the rematch of last year's Big 12 championship game. I'm going Kansas State in this one. Haven't had a good feel for either team this year, but Kansas State just found out that they can run the ball with their freshman quarterback, Avery Johnson, who is a pretty good recruit, and he had 5 rushing touchdowns last week. I'm going to go with them to beat TCU, but again, these are two teams in the middle of the Big 12 fighting for spots, and it looks like there's two teams at the top with Oklahoma and Texas who are kind of just looking down on everyone before they head out of the conference the way things look right now. We're going to go Texas Tech over BYU. BYU is one of the new teams who are struggling in the Big 12. Texas Tech has had some quarterback issues, injuries, but I think they'll be able to rebound and win this game. Ole Miss over Auburn. Auburn's not quite where they need to be under Hugh Freeze quite yet. We're going to go Michigan over Michigan State, the rivalry game. Michigan State doesn't have pretty much anything cooking for them right now. I think Michigan's better at almost every single position on the field. We're going to go Florida State over Duke. Now, this game could be closer if Riley Leonard plays a quarterback for Duke, but even if he does, I'm taking Florida State. They completed 4 passes without Riley Leonard last week. Even if he plays, though, I think this defense and this too talented and will slow him down, and then that offense with Jordan Travis, starting to make a Heisman campaign, and I think he can probably get the job done in this game at least, and build that Heisman campaign even further, although it'll be tough to beat Michael Penix, who's a heavy favorite right now. We have USC over Utah. Now, losing on the road to Notre Dame, it ended up looked maybe, I would say, not worse than it was, but they looked awful. Their defense played better than you would have thought. They were in bad field position all night. Keil Williams turned over the ball a lot. But they're coming back home in this one. I expect the offense to play better. The defense, I don't know if you can expect them to play that well every time, but I think they can play better with better field position for sure. In Utah, we just don't know if Cam Rising's playing, so I'm going to take USC to defend their home field. Clemson over Miami. I think Miami maybe got a little bit inflated to start the year with their record and everything, and then the bad loss to Georgia Tech in the last seconds, and then you have North Carolina, and they lose that game. Clemson, on the other hand, yes, they have lost games that you don't typically lose, but those were to Duke and Florida State, and those are solid teams. I do expect them to go on the road and win this one. I would like to see their offense play better before really being very confident in this one, but I do think Clemson can go beat Miami on the road. All right, I'm going to keep on scrolling down here. We'll say the last one we'll do Washington and Arizona State. Arizona State's more of a feisty team under Kenny Dillingham. Maybe looking for a little bit of a letdown game, but Washington's on fire right now. I mean, eye test wise, you can't find a team who's maybe playing better. Michael Penix, as mentioned, Heisman frontrunner, deserves a lot of praise for what he's done this season. So those are the college football Week 8 picks. Let me know who you're picking in the comments below. For now, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.